So it's about 10:30. We finished recording about an hour ago, and as we were wrapping up, we found out about the Damar Hamlin situation in Cincy. And fuck, I really don't know what to say. This is like, sometimes something hard happens, and you talk about it, and you kind of, if it's possible to put it this way, you do a good job of summing up your feelings. And people say, hey, thanks for finding the right words or whatever it is. But like, I really don't know what to say. I'll give it a shot. We have a pack pod coming up with all the playoff scenarios and all the rundown from what happened week 17 of the NFL season. But all that feels pretty insignificant right now. And it probably is going to feel pretty insignificant to listen to the pod after this. I pray that at this point, although we haven't heard anything about Damar Hamlin in what seems like 7 hours, but it's been an hour since he's been at the hospital, I guess, at Buffalo. I'm not going to speculate on what happened to him. Obviously, we know it wasn't a head injury. We think it's a chest injury, but anything beyond that's kind of speculation. I pray that by the time you guys hear this podcast that he's okay. But I also know, as a guy who played the game, and every time I see somebody down on the field getting put on a backboard or being immobilized or putting a neck brace on, getting into an ambulance, I've seen it happen a number of times. The thought goes through my head like, somebody's going to die one day playing this game. And I hope it's not tonight. I really do. But that seems like kind of a real possibility when you hear that somebody's without a pulse, or with a pulse but not breathing on their own, on the ambulance ride over to the hospital. And Damar Hamlin was joined by his family on the way to the hospital, and I couldn't help but think about my parents and like what they would be going through in that situation. Like, obviously, you think from the perspective of the player. I played a position where these enormous collisions didn't happen as much, but we ran to the ball too. And I've been hit pretty hard, and I've hit people hard, and it's a high stakes fucking game out there. Like, we are competing, and not just our livelihoods, but our lives could possibly be in danger. In the immediacy, not down the line. We already know football can kill you quicker than if you didn't play. But in the moment, to hear that somebody was receiving CPR on the field, like, totally unprecedented for me. And I, even as somebody like who played the game and is trying to put myself in the situation that some of these players were in on the field, and like the prospect of playing or not playing, like, when you see somebody's chest getting pumped, it's one of the most, like, you don't forget it. Anybody that's seen somebody getting CPR who looked like they needed it, and that's pretty much anybody who's getting CPR, like, it's life or death on a level. Anybody that's seen that, it's really hard to go back to whatever you were doing. Now imagine you got to go back to playing football. I heard somebody say, like, hey, the safest place for something like this to happen would be on a football field. There's so many team doctors, there's so many trainers, there's medical personnel, they have all the equipment. But the irony of that statement is that this is pretty much the only place that I feel like this happens. I'm not going to, no matter what the outcome is for Damar, going to be one of these people that says, like, football should not be played. This is a game that we take a tremendous risk to play. I took the risk. Guys are going to keep taking the risk. The fact that this is unprecedented or doesn't happen a lot, or it never happens, doesn't soften the blow. I don't know the kid. He's 24 years old. But I am definitely thinking about him and his family right now. And I just try to imagine, I talked to my parents just a little bit ago. My mom used to fucking get on a red eye to come watch me play in St. Louis every Sunday after going to my brother's game and just on Saturday nights and just having to, and then to watch me and my brother play for a long time in the NFL. Just being a parent of somebody who's playing a high injury rate, high collision sport, it's fucking crazy. And then the worst nightmare is riding with your son who's not breathing on his own to the hospital. It's just unfathomable to me. So thinking about the family of Damar Hamlin, I'm thinking about Damar Hamlin, and I'm going to go home now. I've been sitting in the studio just hoping to hear something so we could wrap this up. But more than anything, I've just been frozen, like most people. I think we've just been sitting around watching ESPN's coverage of this. ESPN, I think, has done a really nice job of keeping the ball in the air at a time when everybody's staring at the TV like, what do we do now? Obviously, what we do now is we worry about football later. But I thought that Booger, Lisa Salters, Adam Schefter, Susie Colbert, Scott Van Pelt, Ryan Clark, like everybody I saw on TV did a really nice job. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, of just trying to I don't know what the objective is. And I think that's why I was empathetic to the people that were trying to call the game or talk about the game, because like, we don't even know what's the move here, just throw on some replays, talk about the injury, talk in circles about the injury and how terrible it is. At some point, there's not a lot you can say. So I thought that just to be able to steer us out of this thing, and they're still talking about it now, I feel for the people that were on the broadcast. I feel for the players, man. Seeing Stephon Diggs crying, seeing Tre'Davious White crying, seeing Josh Allen with his hands clasped over his face. Those are very real feelings that we sometimes feel as football players, but I have never seen a player get a teammate getting his chest pumped on the field. And as I said before, I can only imagine having to think about going back to playing football. I'm not going to be one of these people that's going to dissect what the NFL should have done, this, that, and third. Like, I don't have the energy for it. Just hoping this kid's okay. And I think, like, if there's anything you take from this is, like, human life is so important. I mean, it's so important. Sometimes we go about our day and we argue about a bunch of shit and we cheer about the football game. And this is all anybody could think about today was like this big Monday night game. We are obsessed with football right now. But look how quickly everybody was willing to grind that to a screeching halt because somebody's life's in danger. And I think sometimes we should remind ourselves of the value of human life and just how important each person is that's on this football field. Ryan Clark was saying it earlier. People should remember this when a guy's hurt and we trivialize it, or we talk, gratuitously bad about somebody who's out there on the field. Like, guys are out there risking their fucking lives for your entertainment, and they are paid handsomely, and they should be, because this is the most dangerous sport this is the most dangerous professional sport in America. Somewhere they're doing boxing's really dangerous too, right? Okay, so boxing's, but the most dangerous popular sport in America. We're gonna get in trouble with some boxing fans, but this is a really dangerous game. And so when guys are out there, just realize that this is what could happen. Some variation of this. Hoping Damar is okay. And just the value of human life is so apparent. Every fan across the NFL, no matter who was playing in that game, whether it was Pittsburgh, Baltimore, San Francisco, Vegas, whatever, San Francisco, LA, like, as bad as a rival it could be fucking Ohio State, Michigan. If a player is getting CPR on the field and leaves in an ambulance, everybody stops what they're doing. I don't mean to give people a cookie for having some humanity, but it is a reminder that we do have it in us. And I think everybody's really hurt watching this. I hope, we remember this feeling because it's way bigger than sports. So praying for Damar. All right, here goes nothing. was a fun pod. We had a good time. There's a lot of crazy situations right now from a playoff standpoint, and plenty to talk about. So if you do want to get your mind off of what happened last night, or you just want to continue to talk, hear us talk ball, enjoy the pod. Good old-fashioned layup line, guys. Take these broken wings and learn to fly again. Learn to live so free.
You know the words, Macon.
I'd love to back you up. I was just dancing to it. I don't actually know the words.
Mr. Broken is the song called Broken Wings. Oh, it's right here in front of me. Broken Wings. Yeah.
The Grand Theft Auto Vice
And
City.
when we hear the voices sing, the book of love will open up and let us in. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
That
So
is Mr.
So Poe is back. So they mended his broken wings. And I'm going to make that the layup line today. Good old-fashioned layup line.
Good for you.
Because Poe, they
Didn't
brought him
help
out.
much.
No, I didn't. But thankfully.
I thought you were alluding to the Jets.
Uh-huh.
I thought you were alluding to the Jets.
Wow.
No, their wings are broken.
That's brutal.
Their wings are broken for sure. They're
I
not
thought
getting...
you were talking about your bird from the Bahamas.
No. Well,
Damn near midnight up in
Yeah,
here.
it just kept getting delayed and
Yeah,
delayed.
You were talking
guys.
about my plane in New York.
Wow.
Your plane got delayed?
My plane, I took my plane on time. We did circles around New York, and then they took us to Dulles.
Oh.
And then you had to sit in Dulles for a while?
Yeah, for 2 hours, and then I got
Isn't
a
that the
car,
worst?
and
Just
I
let me
drove,
go.
and
Yeah.
I drove.
Let me off the plane.
I got home at midnight. I got to New York where I had work in the morning, and I arrived at what I thought was my hotel, but it was 3 blocks away from my hotel, and it's New
3
Year's
blocks.
Eve in Times Square area, which, as you can imagine, was a nightmare. And I got out of the car like it was a zombie movie. People are all running in one direction towards a giant light down that way somewhere,
Yeah.
which I knew to be the ball. And I typed in my thing on the map, and there's blockades and there's police everywhere.
Police horses,
I had
probably.
to shit. I didn't see any horses. I would have been a lot happier if I did.
Yeah.
But
I've got something to
I
say
ended
next.
up getting to my hotel, which was good. So yeah,
Times Square can
broken
make you feel
wings.
pretty. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a page open on my notes app for the pod, and I've been wanting to get to this for a long time. There needs to be a professional sports franchise with the nickname the Horses, and then when you're winning, you're about to win, you can say, nay 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 nay, nay 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 nay,
Jesus Christ.
nay nay nay,
goodbye.
goodbye. Not
That-
bad, huh?
That is what you had to say next?
Yeah, because you're talking about the horses in
that
Times
makes sense.
Square.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
There were horses on the beach in the Bahamas as well.
Oh, cool.
That's
Wild
a
ones.
dynamite segue into my Bahamas trip. Yeah, they were domesticated.
Okay.
A bunch of little kids. Bunch of little kids were riding them. Yeah, no, I'm back from the Bahamas. It is Monday night. I apologize about the Tuesday morning drop, but it wasn't going to be the same without the fellas in the room together. So I appreciate the dudes working the graveyard shift here.
Wouldn't miss it.
Yeah, well,
That it is. We are dead men. No.
yeah. Wait, I thought you didn't like
Yeah,
those
you
shows.
don't like that. Did you have any clicks?
I had a couple Kalik lights.
The licks are good.
Man, I got obliterated at this place called Daddy Joe's yesterday, like during the daytime. I don't know if you guys, as you get older, become more day drinkers. Like, I'll get hammered during the day, and then like I'm hungover by 10 p.m. and ready to go to sleep. Like, that's my new move.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found the only sports bar in the Bahamas that had one TV. People were talking this place up like it was fucking Damon's.
Damon.
Yeah, it was a local joke.
Were you?
But I was like, how many TVs? Man, I had all my stuff packed. I was ready to go because, of course, at the hotel, which if it were the White Lotus, and Kyle, you started to watch White Lotus.
Yeah, I saw a lot of White
So
Lotus.
you know the guy in season 1 that he's really tough on the staff. You know, the kind of fucking dorky guys with Dario. Yeah,
dorky guy.
I'm like the opposite
He's
of
not
that
a dorky guy.
I will let you fuck up my trip, and I am too afraid to like impose my will on the staff. This hotel was like an iPhone with a virus. You know, when you need an update and your iPhone's just acting all fucking crazy. Like the lights were turning on in the middle of the night. There were no lights the first couple nights. They had to bring in lamps.
Wow.
For me and my family. Yeah, I mean it's first world problems here, but we made the most of it. We were in Exuma. It was really nice. And I missed you guys, but I couldn't watch any of the fucking games Saturday night. I had to fucking just refresh the score app to see the college football, see what was happening with college football. Evidently, 2 pretty good ball games.
Oh, they were awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sunday I was supposed to go to this sports bar, and the locals were talking this place up. Like I said, it was Damon's, and there was just one TV in there. The guy just gave me the remote. I was controlling the direct TV. I was ordering drinks.
Oh, well, DirecTV at least.
Yeah, at least
you could
direct
pop around.
Well, no, they didn't have Sunday ticket naturally, and the
Oh.
place didn't open till fucking 2, which makes no sense. Any self-respecting sports bar. I feel like the Bahamas is close enough to the United States to probably have a place that.
Yeah, like don't their tourists like NFL?
Yeah, right. You would think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you would think. So I'm back. I am happy to be back. So the first thing before we get into America's teams,
Here we
can
go.
we get this out of the way?
Yeah. I'm going to try to be real for one of the first times
Okay.
on the show.
Okay.
Would you like to start?
Well, I was very fortunate. Thursday Night Time Machine, which was at one point, I'm like Mike Tomlin, honestly. I'm the Mike Tomlin of this thing. If I, minus
Hall of Famer.
minus the streak of consistency, I've never won Thursday Night Time Machine in this show's short history. I know it feels longer than a short history, but it's a short history. And so I owed last year, and I was about to lose this year. Was down 7-2. The penalty, of course, is Waffle House, 24 hours. And I'm thinking here I'm going to be going to the Waffle House for 48 hours in January. And my only hope, down 7-5 Thursday, was hitting the score right on the head. 27-13 Cowboys was my play. Macon went 24-13. And it was incredible. I actually was able to watch the game on my wife's phone. And I got to tell you, that was one of the best moments of my 2022, watching that thing. I was giddy. I was just giggling like a fucking child, moving around in my bed, kicking my legs and shit like I'd been on the airplane too long, and Meg was just laying there like, what's going on, honey?
Yeah. So up 7-2, I stopped trying. That's
Okay.
that's for serious.
Okay.
I stopped checking to see if
Gracious
the
winner
count
now.
was right
Yes.
in the doc.
So did I, dude. Honestly, I thought I was out of it,
Yeah.
to be fair.
So we might want to do a little forensic accounting of the entire effort.
Oh, you want to
That's
recount?
That's
You're
one.
questioning the validity
Well,
of
I'm
this.
also congratulating my
Maricopa
friend
County?
here.
Yeah.
I'm congratulating my friend. That it was epic. As I texted
Felt like
you,
my flight path getting home.
a
real straight line.
sick sicko part of me. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want it to end that way. I wanted it to get to 27-13
Yeah.
and then end in a heartbreaking
Yeah, you
fashion.
wanted me to get my heart broken.
for you.
And then
Hey, we're not going to be the first people to ever do Waffle House challenge. Clearly, probably not the first to ever do it
no, but
together.
really, you don't think 2 people have ever done it
I
together?
can guarantee you, nobody has gone in with more fear.
Oh yeah, you should be afraid. It is not fucking. It's not a joke.
And think of any synonym of fear that comes to your
Dread.
brain. Dread. I mean, my wife and I are talking about getting
Thank you.
overnight help for the kids. Like, we're talking about maybe sending them off to a hotel.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be bad. And it's not just the 24 in there. It's the 24 leading up.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to be the 72 afterward.
Yeah.
It's all awful. But congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Fuck Mike Vrabel, ass. Had 3 timeouts that he
Didn't
left on
use
the
a
table.
goddamn one. It was the coolest. Oh my god, everything. It was amazing. And you know what the best part about this? We're gonna both go to the Waffle House for up to 24 hours. I have the choice to like eat 10, 12 waffles and leave you there for the last 6 to 8 hours.
Well, buddy, as
you
do
think
I.
you're gonna eat waffles?
I sometimes I have this vision where I could just like stack 6. All right?
It doesn't work. I promise you, bro.
I know, but I'm just
When
saying,
that
like, I
monkey
have
jumped
visions.
on my back, 5, 6 waffles in, the first 5 or 6, and this is for me, we're like, hey, clockwork.
Did you end
Number
up doing
7 was like
10
it was
or
a fucking
13
struggle.
waffles?
I did 12, I think, or 13.
13 waffles in
I wanna
11
say.
hours?
Yeah, something like that. Got up out of there. Came home and walked in the driveway for like an hour and a half until I had to shit, and then
I might have to make a request of like time of start.
That's what they do in Japan too. You know, after big meals, they'll just go for a walk. It's Eastern
That's your
tradition.
Japanese
everywhere
deal?
except for here.
I think everywhere but America, people are like, "This is good for
Want to go
digestion."
have a cigarette and a walk?
This is my version of living in Tokyo.
Oh,
we go have a good sit here in America.
Man, we are gonna have a great time, is all I'm saying, and we're gonna record. We're gonna do
We pack
something.
it
Do
down.
we have to do a 24-hour Waffle House?
Yeah, well, let's live stream the entire
Live stream
thing.
the entire thing. Longest sports podcast in history. 24 hours. Got to be.
My
What's the over under, Matt? Start working on the over under for waffles that Megan's gonna eat.
my
7.5.
7.5. Wow, I'm taking
That's a
the
lot.
under.
word got to my parents
Oh yeah.
before I could tell
Yeah.
them. Yeah,
Oh,
made for a
that's gonna be fun.
lovely
All right.
conversation.
Should we go to America's teams?
Yeah.
Yeah. And one hot tip for all the dudes out there on family vacations: the Zen kept me alive during my trip down to the Bahamas. I packed a whole log of Zen. But when you look at your family photos, if you have a Zen in your upper lip or maybe 2 6s, you kind of look like you have filler in your upper lip. You start looking like one of these 40-somethings that plastic their face
Simon
up a
Cowell.
little
Simon
bit.
Cowell.
Can I show you something real quick?
Dane Cook.
You didn't even
Try not to
you didn't
laugh.
think about it.
No, I didn't think about it. Look at this.
You look like an idiot, man.
Look how stupid I look.
Wow.
I'm like, look, we're on a fucking sandbar. It's the
And
perfect
you're the
family
one
photo.
taking the picture.
I'm
It's
the
a
one taking the
selfie.
picture.
You didn't look
Well,
at yourself?
Well, no, it's too bright out. Look at this. Hey, Matt, look at my face, bro. I look so stupid. It's ridiculous. I don't even want to share the picture. People are just going to have to wonder what we're
You
laughing
should go the
at.
other way and just like use it as your header photo.
Oh, no. I could not,
Put it on the
dude. It looks
website.
like I have lip filler in. So, yeah, dudes on vacation with Zen, if you got to take a family photo, pop that thing out. Okay.
Yeah.
America's teams.
Who wants to lead off?
I'm going to let y'all lead off.
I'll lead off.
Okay, Cal.
America's teams. The backup quarterback.
Mm.
Well, that's good, Kyle.
You know, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, third string, highest QBR since becoming a starter. Blaine Gabbert and his brother, they saw a helicopter crash. Well, they heard one while they were on jet skis. And if you hear a helicopter crash while you're on jet skis, that speaks to the significance of the volume.
How many capes we giving him?
I don't know, but I'm not done yet. Jared
capes.
Stidham, hey,
Only 3.
pipe down for just a second.
You just
All right,
drive your
done.
jet
My
ski
bad.
over. I wish a
Blaine
helicopter
Gabbert, it was
crash
great,
would
but
happen
you
near
get
me
20
if I'm on a jet
seconds.
ski.
Jared Stidham
We'll get back to
looked
this.
better than decent. Jared Stidham. Mike White turned into a pumpkin. Cooper Rush, he put the Cowboys in this position
Yes,
that
he
they're
did.
in.
Yeah, he did. Let's talk
Tom
about
Brady
Minshew.
was a backup. Aaron Rodgers was a backup. Kenny Pickett. The second one would be the Green Bay Packers. Everybody loves to hate Aaron Rodgers. Everybody loves to hate the Packers because they always seem to be around. They're like Freddy Krueger. You can't run fast enough away from Freddy Krueger because he will catch you.
NFC North can't run fast enough away from.
Number 3,
Aaron
the cops. There's dip on my finger.
cops?
The cops on New
You
Year's
smell
Eve.
like high school right now.
The cops on New Year's Eve. Well, I took a shower, so I might be Old Spice.
Yeah.
You have
could
a
be.
bath bomb in there.
The cops on New Year's Eve in Times Square, of which there were many, and they all seemed to be about 15 years old, and they all had weapons. I
And
was like,
horses.
Were they
there
suspicious
were no
of you?
horses.
They were all 15 years old.
Yeah, now they were. It's a good question, Matt, because I was
That's a good
walking to the
question, Chris.
hotel.
Yeah.
Chris, I was walking to the hotel with a bag and a hoodie and a beanie on, and I was like the only person that was not partying in Times Square.
They're like, this is definitely the guy who's going to do something bad tonight.
They were like, "Hey, Sketchball, where are you going?" You know.
They asked you
essentially.
that a lot.
No, but I was staring at the ground.
You were projecting.
Yeah, that's,
You know who'd make a
we had
great
this
cop? Can I
conversation
tell you who'd make
before.
a great cop? I know you want to get on with the America's teams, but John Harbaugh.
Yeah,
He just has a cop face.
CIA.
You know, one of the maybe the good ones that do community policing has been in the same place for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just slap a white hat with a black brim on there and a fucking
I
badge.
could see that.
Yeah.
He'd be a good cop for sure. John Harbaugh, also going to be an NFL coach next year potentially. Wheels up.
Bad cop, Mike Vrabel.
He's thinking of Jim Harbaugh.
Mike
right
Vrabel
now.
will pull you the fuck out of your car.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah,
Is that who he
you're-
said?
Yeah, I'm
He
thinking
said
of
John
I said
Harbaugh.
Oh,
John.
I think John Harbaugh's bad cop.
Oh no, yeah. Well, you think John
Do you know what
Harbaugh's
kind of off-season program he runs in Baltimore?
Kyle? And are you inferring that Jim Harbaugh would be a good cop?
Yes, he has sleepovers. At the
No
players' houses.
chance. Just taking everybody's
John
children.
Harbaugh goes to Bald Head Island. Jim Harbaugh
you guys,
goes on.
you guys
camps.
can't take care of these kids.
Make
I'm
it
a
way
cop
in
and,
here.
and I run a fucking foster home.
And thanks for clarifying because I thought
You're
he was
welcome.
talking about.
Yeah. Jim wouldn't de-escalate, taking those timeouts.
No,
with him to
Jim's
the-
fun. Hey, what the fuck's going on over there? I'm not wasting my time with you, goons.
NFL
Okay.
coaches as cops.
Number 4.
We got ourselves a segment.
Number 4, wheels up, because there's a lot of wheels up agreements being made right now by eliminated players and their wives because plans are being made.
Oh, wheels up. Yeah. Well,
do
don't
it
use wheels up.
Or
Yeah.
give us a deal. Maybe we can have some kind of code we can give.
Oh, we're not a wheels up podcast.
Yeah, we're wheels down.
Number
Net-
5,
net
the
jets.
Patriots. Period. It's patriotic.
Speaking of wheels up, there was a guy from MSNBC or CNN that was complaining about kids on airplanes this week. Yeah, he was saying no kids in first class, making you seem like a no kids in first class
tweeted
guy.
that one time.
Not as a now parent.
Okay.
Whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
I tweeted that
To
at
get
one time
through.
and got a lot of flack for it, but now I support
Damn, you used to be that guy?
it. Yeah.
Oh my God,
Well, I can
Kyle.
admit it.
Well, redemption is a beautiful
I
thing.
didn't have kids.
Okay, so you're through the America's teams now?
I'm through it.
Okay, mate.
Okay, hailing from New Orleans, Louisiana, the 4-lane rolling green wave. How about it?
Bro, can we put that joke in the rafters?
How about it, huh?
People were lauding you, but asking you to put it in the rafters.
Were they really?
Yeah, they were kind of doing a Big Ben thing, like just hey, one more, like take your victory lap, but like let's.
All I was seeing was the lauding.
No, there were a couple people that were like, can we hang it in the rafters now in a good way?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like it's just time.
I was so excited that I tweeted 6-lane.
Did you really?
Well, I mean, it's not every day you win the line.
I didn't watch the game.
Cotton Bowl.
Internet.
Cotton Bowl.
It was a Cotton Bowl. 46-45 over SC. They needed, let me just tell you something about it. Sure, 45-30 Trojans with 4 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
A big chunker.
Mm-hmm.
You score 45-37,
Yeah.
down 8, extend the game as long as possible. Kickoff goes to the 1, and my guy calls for a fair catch, which you can do. You can do, and then it goes out to the 25.
Yeah.
But he bobbles it out of bounds.
No safety.
No, ball's down at the 1.
Down at
Next
the,
play,
okay. I thought he was out of the back. Yeah.
1st and 10 from the 1, safety.
Oh wow.
45-39. Get the ball back, come down, score with a few seconds left on a
So
juggled
people were probably
catch.
complaining about them going for 2, and then they got 2.
I don't. Well,
not,
no, I think
not
Willie,
going for 2 on the first
maybe,
touchdown,
but it was
yeah.
the right call. You
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
prolong the ball
Yeah,
game. Willie Fritz, Tulane goes to 12-2 or something like that. Awesome game.
Good for
Congrats
those
to the Green
guys.
Wave. New York Giants. New York Giants are going to the
Jeez.
playoffs for the first time in a long time. You might remember the boat scandal of the Odell
Oh, I
Beckham
remember the boat scandal.
era.
Was that 2016?
Yeah, the last time the Giants made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And speaking of backup quarterbacks, Tyrod is probably going to put the Dallas Cowboys in that 1 seed next week when he takes the reins to play the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh.
Is it a certainty that Daniel's not going to play?
Not a certainty, but the Giants are locked into the 6.
Let's talk about this right now. Okay.
They're locked
Easy.
in. And
Giants
it's a
are
bye
locked
week.
in.
Bye
Hey,
week.
I know,
Not only are
but
they
that's
locked
not
in,
that's
he
not
left
what
it
they
all
did
on the field
the
last
Super Bowl
week.
year, 2011, whatever, or 07.
It was
The year that
was
the Pats
undefeated
were
year, yeah.
undefeated and they played them tough week 17. They
And
played
then-
their guys. Of course, that was Tom Coughlin. Now,
Correct.
if you're the Giants,
Speaking of Tom, Lynn,
yeah, that's good. We're gonna talk about Mike Tomlin.
did you get it? I coughed. I had a cough.
Coughlin.
Like
Oh,
Tom
got it.
coughed.
That's good.
Okay,
Yeah, we're gonna keep
it
that in the show
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder, are they kind of like going to try to stick it to the Eagles? I mean, would you rather have to travel to see the Cowboys? I mean, you have to travel to see both of them, but would you rather put the Eagles, who beat the dog shit out of you the first time they played? Would you rather play them tough, stay sharp, and possibly ruin their January?
Nah. I mean, what if somebody gets hurt? I mean,
It's a big what if that a lot of coaches are going to have to ask themselves this weekend.
the Giants don't have a ton of studs. God forbid somebody got hurt in what amounts to a meaningless game for New York. And that's what Brian Dable said today, that we'll do what's best for our team. We're not going to worry about anybody else. We're going to do what's best for us.
What's best for a lot of these coaches thinks what's best for the team is
maybe so.
trot these guys out and get the reps.
That would
Keep
surprise
them sharp.
me
Yeah.
to have a bye week this late and not show Philly anything either, because Philly would be most likely the round 2 matchup if they got by Minnesota.
I asked Bill Cowher
Which
this exact question this weekend, and Bill Cowher was adamant about the fact that he was like, "Are you kidding me?" He was like, "Jerome Bettis, I'm going to rest him." You know, like if
Jerome Bettis had to get an ice tub
as an
every
example.
morning. Yeah.
He was like, there are a lot of players like that aren't as well known as Jerome Bettis that make up a roster that are important. And if you want to rest them, you're going to get them healthy.
Listen,
do it.
If Jalen Hurts plays, he could be a little rusty.
And Bill Cowher's as old school as it gets.
There's no guarantee that game looks anything like the game, even if they rest some guys. There's no guarantee it looks like the first game.
My third America's team is Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns went into
LeBron's team,
Hyattsville, Landover, Raljean, Maryland, and beat the Commanders in a must-win game. And I'm sure we'll talk about this later, but tough optics for Riverboat Ron, seemingly not knowing if they were potentially eliminated if
I'm right
if the
there
Packers
with
got the
Riverboat
Vikings.
Ron. All that matters is winning.
you would be surprised
But then
how
he
many coaches
trotted Carson out there and lost is the thing.
Yeah,
That's a judgment call that he can be called on, because it's a terrible decision, and Carson is a sitting duck back there and threw a lot of ducks out there.
I think it just more illustrates the fact that a lot of coaches, their
At
heads
least
are up
three.
their asses on what needs to happen outside of them controlling their own destinies. And that plays out if you've been on a team that's talking about going to the playoffs. And I'm not absolving Ron Rivera because it's a bad look. But, when you're getting ready for the playoffs, coaches are so tunnel vision, and they almost overset that example. It's going to be interesting this weekend. There's a lot of, hey, don't watch that game. We'll talk about the Lions in a little bit. Don't watch that Seahawks game. Or are you watching the Seahawks game? Different ways you can go about it.
Chargers, number 4. They get to 10-6. I was a dummy and thought that the Rams were going to keep putting up points and trying hard with McVay and Baker, and they did.
Yeah.
But the Chargers just overmatched them.
Austin Eckler's a beast.
Eckler 122 on the ground. Mike Williams 7 for 94 in the air. It was an impressive performance.
They're clicking a little bit.
And it's nice to see.
They're getting healthy. Slater might be coming back.
Not good for Kansas City.
Really?
See, Kansas City might have to see them in the second round.
Slater might be coming back in the playoffs.
Yeah, and Bosa as well. Bosa's back.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know that
Yeah.
on Wednesday.
I don't think that would have been the difference.
Maybe not.
I just don't think the Rams were ready to play.
I'm going to round out America's teams with Tulane. For the first time in America's team's history, the same team will be mentioned twice as we hang the joke into the rafters. Tulane now officially expanding to 4-lane university.
That's good. Okay, so I have TCU here.
Yeah.
An omission from y'all. I figured we'd be all tripled up there, but yeah.
And in my list throughout the year, you might recall.
Yeah. You put them there, but I mean, now's the time.
Yeah.
I mean, they sent.
To be quite frank, nobody gives a
sent
fuck
bad.
about TCU.
Really? Evidently, a lot of people care about TCU.
Duggan.
I mean, hey,
people are
TCU's
crazy
catching
for
14
the
points or
college
whatever
football.
it is, 13 points
Yeah.
in the Natty.
That was an amazing game.
Yeah, it was. I heard.
Yeah.
Low
key Bevel.
Yeah, low key.
Yeah.
It's in the conversation. I don't know if this affects Jim, making a decision on what he wants to do in the future. But now Jim Harbaugh is talking about maybe taking the Carolina job, maybe the Denver job,
Indianapolis
as well. So yeah, all of a sudden Jim Harbaugh is going to be coaching the NFL again. It seems pretty apparent that's going to happen because last offseason he interviewed where was it at Minnesota?
Yeah,
and they didn't offer.
And then he said, "I'm not going to coach in the NFL anymore."
But if you look at Carolina, we've talked about it. Carolina, the teams in that division, Indy, they're behind the 8 ball a little bit because of some of the things they've done. But Denver's the interesting one. Do you think a Jim Harbaugh would take a look at Russell Wilson, and what would that offense look like? Because Greg Roman, actually, who might get fired in Baltimore, was his guy in San Francisco. Not that they could run the exact same offense with Russ and everything. But anyways, TCU, America's team.
Did you, by the way, I know you had some television issues. Did you see the touchdown that was called back for Michigan? Have you seen the clips of that? Holy Toledo! I'll show you here at some point. Maybe we can pull it up.
Pull it up, yeah.
Now it was early in a game that saw 100 frickin' points. So
Yeah.
you can say that it didn't have
But
that
they
much
could have used
effect.
it.
There you go.
It was incredible. So you'll see it here. It's a 14-3 game.
Yeah.
This is a
Bombs
sudden
away.
change. He catches it,
Yep.
and it's clearly a touchdown.
Yep.
He bounces up from his little pop in the middle of the end zone. Now, what they're going to say is he was down right before the goal line, which
Is
I watched
Sure.
it 24 times, and
he's
it doesn't
clearly
look.
over the.
So
At
what
all.
happens here?
They get the ball at the 2-foot line and fumble.
No.
TCU recovers. Goes
Goodness
up.
gracious.
goes
Way
up
less
21.
exciting on the phone.
Goes up 21-3, I believe. Yeah.
Score app just didn't do it justice. But yeah,
I
no,
can't
that's a
wait
bad,
to
that's a
watch
bad
the
call.
best from that game play at the highest level.
That's
Okay,
well said.
Well, who did the Cowboys play this weekend?
Who did they or do they?
Who did they play?
The Cowboys.
They
The
played the
Indians.
Titans on Thursday.
They played the Titans. That's why I had them in my America's
For
teams. There you go.
centuries.
Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Thanks for hitting it
Asshole.
on the head. And I'm sorry, people who don't get the segment yet. I'm not saying I like the Cowboys. They're just one of America's teams right now for your boy. I have the Detroit Lions, man. The Detroit Lions this weekend with a chance to break this playoff drought. I know people want Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs,
Oh man!
but it is. I have this insatiable desire to see good things happen to Dan Campbell and the Lions.
Is this Chris or Chase saying this?
This is Chris. I'm not necessarily going to bet the game, but 4.5 looks kind of
Oh
enticing.
no, Chris.
Okay.
And
What,
there's zero chance those guys on the Lions don't know what happened in the Seattle game. Like,
They're
you
going
were-
to know.
right?
And,
Like,
and
they
that's the
have to
whole
know.
thing. And,
Yeah.
and then it's going to be on Dan to sell them on. We'll talk about what he might say in a little bit, but they're going to know what the hell's happening. I've got the Ravens medical team for bringing back Poe, and we need them to bring back Lamar.
Yeah.
For the sake of, having the Ravens in the fucking playoffs. They're such an unwatchable brand of football without Lamar Jackson. Get him back out on the field. He was supposedly limping around a little bit on the sideline. It's not a good sign, as opposed to Deebo Samuel, who's bouncing through the fucking tunnel with a big boom box. Well, Trent Williams, I think, had the boom box, but he looked pretty good walking through the tunnel. He looked ready to play. High ankle sprain and an MCL. Guy's superhuman.
As the father of a daughter, I would like to commend the Baltimore Ravens and their medical staff for being the first franchise to trot out a female trainer there.
Yeah.
So she's been there for damn near 15 years.
Really?
I'll pull up a picture. You'll recognize her. Yeah.
I don't see gender.
Really.
Yeah, that's why I didn't see it.
Hmm.
It's a joke. Obviously, I see gender. I want more female employees in the NFL.
Megan
I want them
McLaughlin.
on the field. I want them.
No, that's not. I'll find her. You
Anyways.
can keep going. I'll find her.
Okay.
This woman
Last one
is a saint.
Last one. The Pigs.
Might be a shitty trainer though. A lot of injured players for the
Okay,
Ravens.
no.
Well, I don't
Hey,
know. I'm just
Easy. They're one of America's teams.
I mean, the mascot got hurt.
Their injuries are down this year.
Okay,
I'll
you're
have
right.
you know. Last year they had the fucking injury report was the world tour. Remember they had like a T-shirt. You could put all the injuries from last year on like a
Cleveland
T-shirt.
quarterback.
And I don't think
jersey.
she's
Yeah,
a.
yeah,
I don't,
exactly.
I don't think she's a trainer either. I think she's a doctor. That's like that riddle, you know.
Okay.
The surgeon is a woman.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that riddle.
Hey, I got another riddle for you.
Okay, sure.
As long as we're doing riddles,
Yeah, sure.
my daughter has lived in 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and she's 1 year old.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work? Take your time, think about it a little bit.
Well, 2023 affects that.
It sure does.
Well, it depends on when you consider life beginning.
Because you only have to be 12 months and a second to
That's right.
theoretically exist in 3
That's
different
right.
years if you were born at the right time.
So,
Let's move on.
have you answered it? Did you answer it though?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. We're good.
All
Like
right, so
13 months could cover 3 years.
What is the
if you
question?
time it
Do you
right.
comprehend that?
So the answer, I'll answer the riddle. The answer to the riddle is that she was born in January 2021.
Got it.
She's 1 year old right now, but she's seen 3 calendar years.
Calendars are so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know, I'm a big resolution, clean slate guy.
Yeah.
But in reality, the only thing that's fresh is the calendar, not me.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm the same old tired guy.
Holy shit! I said this like 5 days ago.
No, I'm still a big
Yeah,
resolution
got
guy.
it.
Big resolution.
All right.
guy.
Well, here's America's team number 5, so we can get on with it. This is the Pigs of Pig Island. There's an island in the Bahamas where these pigs they live like the most wonderful life. If I want to come back as anything, being a pig
Like
on Pig
influencers want
Island,
to take pictures with you.
Well,
and
yeah,
rub
like
you and feed you.
chicks in bikinis rolling
Yeah.
up all the time.
That's
they
what
feed.
I meant by influencers.
They feed. They're like gluttonous because they got to give them food on a stick anytime they want these pigs to get close to people. There's big pigs. There was this like fucking 500-pounder that looked like he cleaned up for Hannibal Lecter, and then there's a bunch of little pigs. There's babies. People are picking up the babies against their wills. Of course, they're all squealing.
No.
But we got to roll up on the beach. We got to meet the pigs. Here's the kicker, though. These fucking pigs eat hot dogs.
Oh wow.
Are you kidding me?
All beef
Yeah.
hot dogs?
Yeah.
Or
I think they're probably all beef hot dogs. I hope.
I was like, are you
I hope they're all
kidding
beef, but they're
me?
on a stick.
I eat chicken
And
hot
I'm just
dogs.
wondering, like, do they know? But the pigs, man,
Do they
I
know?
I love the pigs. The pigs, we had a magical afternoon. Our boat captain, white Bahamian guy named
You say
Gunter.
white?
Yeah, he's a white guy. Grew up in
Oh,
the Bahamas. Got the
Gunther.
Bahamas accent, the whole thing.
Did you
Name's
tell him
Gunther.
about me?
No,
Well,
it's been a weird segue. Also, then I got to talk about the podcast.
I've
You
got
know,
a
I tell
friend.
people when they ask me what I do for a living, not this.
I've got a friend with the
Yeah,
same
you
name,
got it,
one
got it,
letter
got it.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's cool.
Hey, do y'all recognize Dr. Leanne Curl here? Shout out to Dr. Curl. This is who I'm talking about.
Dr. Curl, of
She's
course.
always on the
She
field with
invented
the
the
Didn't
right.
see her
Right.
because I don't see gender, but
Yeah.
now I know exactly who you're talking about.
Hey,
Her
if you,
name translates to not all the way standing biceps.
What?
Leanne
Curl.
Curl.
Is her name Curl?
Curl, Dr. Curl.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I
Hey,
don't know what you're talking
Hey,
about.
if you weren't
sometimes.
if you
I
weren't
don't know what anybody's talking about tonight.
if you weren't online
Uh-huh.
this weekend, you might have missed this. But what a segue from the pigs of Pig Island.
Yes.
Major Tutty?
I love him.
He's awesome.
Yes, who are these people on the internet that they're just so fucking, they're so cool and they're so fucking cynical that everything's stupid.
Major Tutty's the
Major
best.
Tutty's not stupid. You're
Best
stupid.
mascot in the NFL.
Probably.
Look at that.
He's cool.
Look at that
He's
thing,
awesome.
dude.
Major
He's an
Tutty.
lineman.
Look at that thing, dude.
Yeah.
There's team history. Part of the only,
He looks like a throwback.
like you literally take one of the only good portions in team history and you pay homage to it. And
Hogs.
it's a fucking pig, and he's cute. It's a
Yeah.
cute pig.
He's got the old uni color scheme going on.
I like
those
the name
stripes.
Major Tutty. People were like, "Oh, more like Major Titty." I'm like, "Grow the fuck up!" Bunch of Dan Snyders out there.
He's cool.
Why isn't he a
00.
commander?
Shut the fuck up
Idiots.
and enjoy the best mascot in the NFL.
Yep.
Major
Oh, no.
Tutty. Look at him. Got charisma too.
Oh, in
He
one
does.
lifetime.
Look at that
but he's
gait.
not going to let that.
Look at
get
that
That's
him
a
gait.
more
down.
awkward run out than you would imagine making when you run out between a group of people and. it's a lot
Oh
of
no,
space.
you can
No,
trip.
not when you
lot
got a
of
fucking
pressure.
mask on. You don't feel a goddamn thing in that mask.
It's a lot
You can
of
be
space.
whoever you want to be as an NFL mascot. It's got to be awesome,
Did
actually.
you guys hear
I'm so
about
glad
the
you said that.
Chiefs
That was my
super
next
fan?
note there. Chief Tutty is a
Six.
or
Yeah,
whatever,
major.
Major Tutty.
yeah.
You can't say Chief Tutty.
Yikes.
Did
wow.
you Did you hear about
We'll
the
cut
Kansas
that.
City
Bleep
Chiefs?
that.
Did you hear about the Kansas City Chiefs super fan that
Commander in Chief.
that got arrested?
yes, we
Freudian
did.
slip.
Chris?
What? Which
No.
guy?
I
hear about the-
Superfan guy. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
yeah,
bank
yeah.
robber?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a whole
Yeah.
thing on it. What's your
Okay.
take?
My take is I've seen the guy, and I always thought
At
and I
games?
followed, and I followed him on, or like he'd pop up on my social, and I'd always be like, that guy is a little too aggressive. Like
Yeah.
there was always something off, and when it came out, I was like, I feel like I already knew that. You know,
Yeah,
Should have
agree.
said
Yeah.
something. Should have spoken up.
Yeah, how do you feel
he
now?
Wow.
gave me creep vibes.
No, but how do you feel
nobody
now?
got hurt, right?
There's red dye on your
fiscal-
hands.
the-
No,
fiscal
but it's, it's
system?
funny that his bank robberies coincided with the Chiefs away games. So
Mhm.
I mean, it just everything
Gotta get
about
home
like, it's
that.
a
somehow.
Netflix story.
It is a
Yeah.
Netflix story. It's like 15 minutes long. Guy robs 2 banks, then they arrest him.
He stands in the parking lot and he's like,
James
"Denver
Cameron would make
Broncos
that a
suck!"
10-part series.
Yes. James Cameron would fucking
he might have
don't
been
even get me started
propositioning you
about
as like
James
a
Cameron.
getaway driver, maybe.
He never met me.
Here it is, guys. We got to blow the whistle. We got to blow the Hunger Games whistle for a couple teams in the AFC. We'll start in the AFC. First team, the Raiders, actually mathematically eliminated this weekend. I think the big story in this game is obviously Jared Stidham. Nobody thought this team was going to be able to hang. I had San Francisco teased a couple ways just needed them to win. Who would have thought the total would have gone over by so much? It was one of the highest scoring games of the weekend, if not the highest scoring game of the weekend. As Kyle alluded to, 2 backups, but one of them playing in his first start. He had not thrown for over like 75 yards in the game. He threw for like 150 the first half. And some of these touchdown balls that he threw were legitimately great throws. Devontae Adams he's otherworldly.
153.
The touchdown,
2 major tutties.
The toe drags, the catching the football on that bomb late in the game where he has to come back to it. It's not even really a back shoulder throw. That was an 80-20 ball. And he makes the play on it. Of course, the review, you could say, might have been incomplete, but, they didn't call it incomplete on the field. It was going to be hard to overturn that. I thought Stidham looked great. I don't know what this means for him in the future, but for Josh McDaniels, it's exciting having a guy that you probably pulled for. You brought him there from New England, knows your system, and looked better than Derek Carr out there in a lot of ways.
First Miller Lite mention, viewing party, Derek Carr.
Right,
Watching that ball game with Derek Carr.
Exactly.
Could not have been a good time. No.
Yeah, and what's up with that?
I think it's really disrespectful. First off, I think it's really disrespectful, and I heard Cowher talk about this as well. You spend 10 years on one team. He's the second longest tenured quarterback in the National Football League on one team behind Aaron Rodgers. And you take that into account when a team says, get the fuck out of the building and you're benched. You have one game left.
The team said, but the team didn't tell him to leave, though, did they?
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
No, I'm assuming Derek was
I'm
like,
benched,
well, I don't want to be
out.
around.
I think they probably had the conversation that I had with Chicago that was like, hey, it would be best if I went this way. And they said to me, it would probably be best if you didn't come back to the building.
But you were hurt.
I was hurt.
Question mark.
They said don't come back to the building?
Yeah.
How? Why?
Your presence?
That happens. Yeah.
Why, though?
It's a distraction. You're toxic. You're a distraction.
Oh, they were telling you were toxic?
Yeah.
Like Britney Spears.
I got toxic. I got a little Britney Spears. But what I'm saying as it pertains to Derek Carr is you have a guy there who has been through tremendous lows and some really good highs as a player, but never really as a team experienced the ultimate highs. You owe him the respect to let him play out his last year.
Yeah, but then they might owe him the money, right? Isn't that the point? If he gets hurt,
what is money?
Yeah.
It's very real in the NFL, and
especially in Vegas.
Where you're too,
what is it, 40.
You're too broke to cut to fire your coach.
Is it $40.4 million?
I think it was like $40 million. Now, Kyle, listen.
That could be why they told him to go home, because we don't want you tripping and falling on a weight.
Listen. That
might have something there.
I disagree. I think that there was I think that conversation is initiated usually by the player. I don't think they told him to leave. I think, it is borderline disrespectful, if not for the contract situation, to bench him. But it's also nice for Josh to get a look at Jared Stidham going into the offseason. And there's something promising to see there. You could trade the guy. You could keep him around. He could develop into I don't think this is going to happen. And I don't like doing this, like hyping a guy up off one start. But, maybe
He'll
you
be
think
his 5th year next year?
I think it's 4th or 5th. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Auburn.
But the bottom line is, I do believe, and I don't know how the conversation went down with Derek Carr, as somebody who's had to sit through a few very uncomfortable years in my career, injured, and at times it would have been better for me to just kind of pack it in and maybe leave the building. It was kind of a formality when I got cut. And I wasn't a quarterback, so there's not that distraction factor, but like leaving the building, what?
I thought the next day
it's
was
one thing
that
the Bears told you to leave the building, which surprises me.
I owed them a couple doors.
Oh, you were breaking things.
Yeah, I had a rough day a couple times.
Yeah. Just a couple doors, just a couple doors off the
those meeting room doors.
Yeah. They're flimsy.
No, they can take a beating, actually.
Yeah. Well, so
Derek Carr
didn't beat up any doors
from the locker room.
Derek Carr didn't beat him.
Get him the fuck out of here.
Derek Carr didn't beat up any doors. My point is
we don't know that.
No, stick around and support your teammates and just finish the year. And I know that we've just gotten to a point in the sports media world and just online and and fans, just like some things are actually sacred, but people don't make anything sacred anymore. It's like, yeah, but the player has a right to do, and players should have rights to do a lot of things that we never considered as sports fans to this point. But like, to me, some things are still cut and dry. You support your team.
People can make their own decisions, do what they want.
Yeah,
but
but
I thought
it's a bad
Derek Carr. I thought Derek Carr would have been like the last dude to say, "Nah."
It's kind of a bad look.
Not stand.
And I respect Derek Carr, and this is a blip on the radar screen in his legacy. I don't know, Jets, Indy. I don't know. It kind of depends.
He goes to New York Jets, and the media situation gets even worse. The media already hounds Derek Carr. If he goes to New York Jets and has a fucking hiccup, they're
what, are you going to leave the building?
Yeah, you leave the building.
No, that's how they're gonna.
Yeah, I know.
Derek, have you considered leaving the building?
Yeah,
that's not good. Anyways, Stidham was good, man, and Brock Purdy was real good too. I mean, like, Ayuk and him have a real good connection. You saw it on that last drive, man. Some of the off schedule stuff, like, it's really nice having that dude. He in the beginning they didn't maximize him, but he's playing a big role. I think San Francisco was sleepwalking a little bit.
And then now they've gotten the comeback out of their system.
Yep, they got that out of their system. Joe, fine. Nick Bosa, who was, I've been saying for a few weeks now, this is his DPOY race to lose.
Is that the Colton Miller bull rush?
The bull rush that forces the pick. I mean, it's not a sack, right?
No,
but it's a fucking big pressure, and it's a turnover. And it sealed the game for them. Yep.
On the throw, it's all bad.
Yep. And here's my only gripe with San Francisco. Well, it's a preemptive gripe. Don't trot CMC out there and run him into the ground this weekend. I had this written in my notes, and then I saw that he has a mild ankle sprain, but they've been riding him like a secretariat, Kyle.
Yeah.
And it's time to give him a break going into the playoffs.
They were riding him like they pushed Debbie down there in Dallas.
Yep. Oh, wow.
25 touches for Christian.
Debbie needs a hamster.
Debbie needs some maintenance. Oh, Kyle, Jesus.
I was turning them out.
Well, carnival rides get more maintenance than Debbie did. There are safety regulations, right?
The Arizona Cardinals run the ball more than Debbie got breaks.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, good.
Oh, and a little knock for you. Knock.
Okay.
Corey.
We're off the rails.
Corey who?
Corey Chase Long.
Okay. Corey would bet the Steelers late last night for a scooter.
Good for you.
Oh, yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. Okay, so then we got to blow the whistle for the Jets as well. And all I'll say about the Jets is this, man. Like, obviously, Breece Hall was a game changer for them. Losing him was an absolute game changer. But you can't rely that much. And Mekhi Becton, you can't rely that much on one player. And you can't boil this season down to Zach Wilson is the boogeyman. Like Zach Wilson, we've talked about this. I think we've been pretty measured on it. We gave it to him pretty good when he was a dickhead after the game. I've also come to his defense at times. And this is one of those situations where I'll say, hey, the Mike White thing was very cute. And I want to like Mike White like everybody else.
We all had fun with it.
We had fun, but they're not scoring more points with Mike White. There were some illusions of the offense functioning at a higher level, and they were at times, but not. It seems like in the red zone they stall, and they get on the other side of the field, they just stall, and the points per game, it's not going up without Zach Wilson. So whether it's Mike LaFleur or whether it's the talent around him, which I don't think it's a talent problem, I think it's a scheme and a quarterback problem. I don't think the answer's in the building, but I think Zach got too much shit in relation to kind of the adulation that Mike White was getting because he's a lower draft pick and people like the underdog. I don't think he made them that much better in retrospect, looking at this run.
Zach Wilson for Jarrett Stidham, straight up. Who says no? Jets are.
Well, you'd have to believe
Raiders.
Zach Wilson is well. The Jets are going to want to move him regardless. I don't know that
for more.
For more, I mean, he's going to need draft picks on top of that. But I don't know that Zach Wilson is going to be the hottest commodity in the market this offseason. Like, who's a Zach Wilson target?
Slightly hotter commodity than Josh Rosen was, yeah? Or you think?
Oh,
Kinda-
hotter
yeah.
than that because of the arm talent, and probably because of and you know how these coaches are. They think they can fix anything.
chosen
That
one.
factor, right? Like I can fix this guy. They just couldn't fix him up there. I can get him straight. Maybe it's a place like Denver. Not they have the draft capital, but I don't know what. Maybe it's
Maybe
hey,
it's a place like Kansas City.
maybe
that
it's
wants a good
Kansas City.
backup.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's going to have the opportunity to play under Andy Reid and be able to shadow a guy like Patrick Mahomes every day and see what the top tier level of competition looks like on a day in, day out basis.
Here's the problem. You don't want Zach Wilson's spot starting for you week 18 or in the wild card round or week 10 because he's not a game manager. A lot of times you want that backup to be the guy that just keeps the chains moving, doesn't make any big mistakes. Zach Wilson's kind of got that fuck it gene in him.
But I mean, that's kind of the brand of that's the DNA in Kansas City, right? Like he's not Chad Henne,
Not the way they are
he's
now.
not Alex Smith, but nor is Patrick Mahomes. I mean, when Mahomes is in there, we're all hanging on the edge of our seats saying,
I know.
Oh my god!
But
yes!
look at what they're doing now, though. Now they're all about efficiency and moving the ball and moving the chains and not taking these big chances and everything. Like Patrick has scaled his game back, but it's
you can
semantics.
learn to harness it under.
We're talking about a
though.
total hypothetical, but I think Zach Wilson is an interesting prospect because he's not like a plug and play backup. He is talented. He does probably appeal to some like egotistical offensive coaches, kind of like palate for, in the MILFs. But I don't know where that's going to be.
Yeah.
Cardinals
Gardner
traded
Minshew to the Jets.
Cardinals traded Rosen for a second and a fifth to Miami.
Interesting.
And he said, "Can I get a hot tub again?"
Well, there was also the perception that at that point Josh Rosen was just chosen over, and that he had to be, maybe we give this guy a little bit more
He
time.
hadn't shown failure on the field.
Yes, well he did, but it was
Not
a year.
extended, yeah.
It was a year, right? Zach
Yeah,
Wilson, I feel like
that's
we've
right.
seen
And
this
Kyler,
movie. Anyways,
The problem with Zach, he just looked like a deer in the headlights. That Thursday night game.
oh, it was bad.
Just not composed.
It was bad.
and It was a bad scene.
I kind of question Mike LaFleur though, because you've got talent on the outside. I know you had some offensive line injuries. I know the run game's not great, and I know I'm listing a bunch of things that work against the offense, but they haven't been able to put up points with Mike White, and ultimately that falls on his shoulders too. You've got to be able, with the defense they had to finish the season the way they had. It's really I'm trying to find the right adjective. It's disappointing. It's deflating because you had all this hype.
Jetsian.
Yeah, it's Jetsian. Yeah, it is.
I wrote down here in my show notes. Write show notes. Got year right the first time writing it. GLP 1/2/23. That's the
Nice.
date. And I got
Nice.
23 the first
good.
time. Yeah.
That's good.
Usually it takes you a couple times.
All right, 23-21, Patriots over Dolphins.
Nicely done.
Yeah,
Wow.
thank you.
That's
Yeah,
professional.
that's a number segue.
That's professional.
This was fun for me. It was good to see Teddy Bridgewater. He's been through so much to get back to where he is physically, and I know we've been through injuries, and to be in the position he was cool. And then to see him go out
And then get hurt
was
again.
awful.
Yeah.
And it's a finger, I think
A
it
hand,
is.
I think, something like that.
On the pick, I mean, Kyle Duggar is everywhere. They line him up in so many places, and I was thinking about how that confuses not only quarterbacks and the receivers, but as an offensive lineman pre-snap facing these multiple look defenses, and
It's a luxury. He's a luxury.
and having to count. Does he count in the blitz count? Does he not? And you can do more, and you catch people in these situations where Teddy got caught, where you throw it up, and oh my God, there was two. Now there's three guys there. The ball's in his lap.
Is he a linebacker? Is he a safety? He can add in the run game. He can blow up. When we saw him blow up Ike Ekwonu in preseason, one of the most violent safeties coming down to set an edge. I mean, Kyle.
In came Skywalker Thompson.
Yeah.
Love the name.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Skywalker Thompson. That's his full name, Macon.
So I thought what was interesting about the fumble early in that game that Peppers forced, and Peppers was all over the field too early. Belichick went to grab his red flag, and he was going to challenge rightfully the no fumble call in the field, because clearly I think it was Jeff Wilson. The ball was dislodged, but they called it dead because of forward progress. And Belichick says the officials told him it can't be challenged. But page 7 of the replay casebook was amended this year.
Right.
And this is really interesting. And this is something that could come up in the playoffs because, as everybody knows, like when these new rules come in, coaches sometimes will miss them. I mean, Bill Belichick's the GOAT, and he just took the officials' word for it. But you could absolutely have challenged that penalty or that fumble, and Gene Steratore confirmed that. Here's what the rule is: if on-field officials rule forward progress, then replay can only review the position of the ball in relation to the line to gain or goal line, and can rule that there is a fumble with clear recovery if possession is lost prior to, and these are the words that were amended this year, or simultaneously with the defensive contact. So what that basically means is you can overturn a no call on a fumble that the offense is saved by a situation where they say the forward progress is stopped if the fumble happens simultaneously with the contact. And that's what happened Sunday. And I thought it was really interesting that rule could come up going forward, but also that Bill had to take the official's word at face value, and they were fucking wrong. They just changed this rule. So I thought this is kind of football nerdy stuff, but it was really interesting that the GOAT didn't tell the officials that to get fucked and that they were wrong in so many words. But Gene Steratore said this specific instance is reviewable since the ball came loose following immediate contact and there was a clear recovery. He believes that New England would have been rewarded that. So it's just another, there was bad call, missing the fumble, bad by the officials to not give Bill, the option to challenge the play. So that was very interesting.
Knew.
Yeah. So when you look at the Pats are in with a win against the Bills. That's first and foremost. But there's also a path for them if they lose this Sunday. If the Jets, the Browns, and the Jags win, I believe. The Dolphins, who we're about to talk about in a second, get in with a win and a New England loss. But Bridgewater broke his hand, so we just mentioned that. Is it going to be Skylar Thompson? Tua probably doesn't go, which, this thing is getting sketchy, right? Like, you worry about the guy's health.
Sad.
Yeah, it is sad because as much as we go back and forth with Dolphins fans and argue with them and whatever, you want to see the guy have an opportunity to play healthy football. And he seems like a great kid. But this weekend, he probably doesn't play. So Dolphins have to win and get the New England loss. Here's an interesting thing, and we haven't looked at the score. Monday Night Football just started. But if the Bengals beat the Bills and Kansas City win, the Bengals are great.
Who scored? Who scored?
How much time left in the game?
7 minutes to go, first quarter.
Okay, great. So, anyways, I got the Bengals tonight. That's good. Okay, so
Tyler Boyd.
Bengals got to get those boys in single high. They got to run the ball. If they can get them in single high, they can carve them up. But the bottom line is, if the Bengals beat the Bills and Kansas City wins Saturday, which both things could happen, the Bills might have nothing to play for versus New England. Depending on how you look at it, they're going to have to look at the Bengals and the Ravens, who are playing at the same time, and say the Bengals got up big and there was no chance of them stumbling in that hypothetical. They might pull their starters. This happened a couple years ago with the Bills. They played their starters for like half the game, week 17. Now it's week 18.
And my bad if you just said this, but they are holding Ravens-Bengals 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock, depending on what happens in Monday night.
Got it.
Competitive fairness.
So competitive fairness. They probably do it simultaneously, right?
Yeah.
So everybody plays.
Yep.
So, long-winded here, but imagine, you're the Bills and you don't have much to gain. Say you look at Cincy getting up way out ahead. But this is me as Joe fan with my coach brain. But if you're the Bills, you got beat by the Dolphins once. You got to assume Tua's probably going to come back. I mean, knowing the way these things happen. They took you to the wire in your home stadium with light snow. It wasn't like a fucking blizzard.
They
but
performed like a cold weather team up there.
It's a tough matchup for the Bills, however you slice it, I think. And do you want them in the playoffs? Is any part of you like, yeah, fuck, we got the fucking Patriots handled? Like maybe in the second half we trot out some backups and give us a little mini bye and let these Patriots in the playoffs and keep the Dolphins out of the playoffs. Because I got to tell you, if I'm the Bills, I'm a little bit afraid of the Dolphins.
A minimal. 6:52 to go first quarter. Bengals 7, Bills 3.
Oh, good. I got a bunch of stuff. I won't bore you with it. Okay. So that's interesting. And Bill has some shit saved up for this matchup, right? Because he's looking at the schedule on a macro level at the beginning of the season, and he's saying it's going to come down to week 18. Wherever we want to go, we're not going to be good enough to be playing for nothing, at that juncture in the season. So he had to save something. I'll be really interested to see what their game plan looks like. So there's a lot to think about with the Dolphins. Obviously, they play the Jets this weekend. I actually like the Jets there. But say they win, they need the Patriots to lose.
If you like the Bills and you like the Jets, then the Steelers have a shot.
And I do think the Steelers have a shot. And I got to tell you, Chase Long was intently watching this game on his phone last night. I was down big on the Sunday, and I just decided to put it all on the Steelers and got it all back. Man, it was so thrilling. I was just in there alone at midnight. Nobody watched the game with him. Watching on my phone.
Najee looked good.
Najee looked really good. The Baltimore defense, though, now has given up, I think it's 4 game-winning touchdown drives this season. I mean, there was the Buffalo game. Buffalo had the ball 13 plays. They go for 69 yards. 23-20 is the way that game ate. They ate the last 4 minutes with that drive. The Dolphins, they struck quick. I think they got the ball with 2:28 to go. They didn't need all of it. They 6 plays, 68 yards. Go-ahead touchdown. The Jags go 9 plays, 91 yards. And they go for 2, and they win that game 28-27. And now Pittsburgh, 6 plays, 56 yards. And you know what my favorite part about that drive was? Mike Tomlin's just his patience. I mean, they never hurried up. A lot of people are probably screaming, hey, hurry up, you got to do this. They made sure they got a first down. Then they hit a big chunk before the 2-minute warning, and they say, okay, we're at midfield. We're good. Let's take the 2-minute warning. We got plenty of time. They didn't have to speed up. And I think this is a testament to the way Mike Tomlin coaches his team. They're so cool, calm, and it's collected, right? Or is it? Yeah, it's collected.
They maintain their
calm,
gangster.
collected.
They do, man. They do in any situation they're in. They were 2-6 or whatever to start this season.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's not only he maintains this 500 streak, which is a fun thing for everybody to talk about at the end of every season. But they're also knocking at the doorstep of getting in the playoffs. And I actually happen to think they're a tough out. And I like what I see from Kenny Pickett, but again, it's just the heart and soul of Mike Tomlin really bleeds through in the way this team plays, whether it was the stops they needed late. They just got they were nails late in this game when they had to get punts back. But I love the way that drive, they kept all 3 timeouts. They didn't use any of them just in case at the 10-yard line, if Najee doesn't catch that ball and they don't get it on 4th down, they're gonna pin and catch a punt. I just love Mike Tomlin, man, and I think this is a good opportunity to give him his flowers.
Let me know if you're parking in this garage. It seems like everybody in that locker room can be himself too.
Yeah.
There are a lot of different personalities.
Yeah.
Like this George Pickens is a big personality.
Yeah.
He wants to be the number 1 wide receiver in the league, and yet he fits within this framework.
Yes.
Cam Hayward,
Yeah,
he's going to let you know about it.
almost had a hollow man situation.
Terrible call.
Well, he made contact with the official, which is I think what it might have been. I think the first lunge, everybody was like thought that was the flag. I think when he lunged off the pile and just to be fair.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
That's a heavy hand.
You wanna co-sign with that though?
No,
Mike Tomlin
I do.
has
That's why
everybody can be.
we had
themselves.
Shazier on here, and he was like, "Hey, he found a way to manage Antonio. I think if Antonio Brown was still in Pittsburgh, we'd be okay. Or, he at least the Band-Aid would still be on.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but I love Kenny Pickett, man. It's not like they're lighting the world on fire, and I'm certainly not saying he's Joe Montana, but what I am saying is now they've stacked together a couple of these late game kind of heroics drives. Whether it was the throws he made against Indy or last week against the Raiders. This guy's actually growing up, and they got a nice young core with Freiermuth, with Pickens.
I like when they go
Deontay Johnson. Yeah, gotta love that. Love that.
They used to
Everybody's
do it
like,
for Heath.
Yep, it's a perfect transition, and I just feel good about where they are right now as a program. I don't know where they're going to go from in the future, but Mike Tomlin saying Kenny fucking Pickett as he's walking off the field makes me think he really likes this kid, and he sees him as part of the future. And 30 gives him a different element in the run game. I forget what that kid's name is.
Jalen Warren.
Yeah,
And
where did he go to school?
And they
Poor
got
Wayne.
positive draft capital during the year by trading Claypool.
Yeah.
Yeah, who has been taking a shit
And
in
he went
Chicago.
to Snow College, which I've never heard of.
The line of the
I have. Bronco Mendenhall went there.
Oh, really?
Snow College. Yeah.
Chris Collinsworth line of the night. Somebody call an exorcist because Najee Harris is possessed. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And Al was like, oh. It was Najee Harris was great. He hurdled somebody in the box. And then the next play, he moved Kenny Pickett into the gap he needed to be. He was doing everything.
Did you Al Mike? You might have just Al'd Mike.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's all right. No,
Mike.
it's cool.
Mike's one of the best in the game.
He is.
Still remains one of the best in the game. So yeah, that's what they need to happen. And then week 18, what's the other stuff that's going on here around the AFC?
The AFC South title game, basically.
Yeah.
Titans Jags.
Yeah,
Saturday night.
It's gonna be good.
Fucking Vrabel. I mean,
Jags. I'm all Jags.
well, what do you think the line is? You got Joshua Dobbs. He'll be the starter.
I think the line is
It's in Jacksonville.
5.
That feels about
You're
right.
close.
to me.
I think it's 6.5
more.
right now. It
More?
was 7.
Huh.
You guys
Careful.
don't
Bet
do
down a
just
little
money
bit.
line. You don't just
Huh?
bet the game. Like
You can do that.
You can bet money line, but at
Little
7, that's
juice.
going to be kind of risky if
Little
you want to
juice.
bet the Jags. And
Hold
I
on,
think
Yeah.
hold on.
Little
so there's
Saturday-
no way I can just say I think that the Jags win the game.
Yeah, you can.
You can. You'll just get reduced
you can,
odds.
but it's
like,
just if you're going to bet $100, that might be $270 if you lose.
Okay.
You know.
Hey, speaking of betting Jacksonville, my friends, the Jacksonville Dolphins have covered.
Yeah, baby.
62-46.
Oh
over
my
the
God, I'm loving
Gamecocks
that
of
free money
Jacksonville
you
State.
give out sometimes. How do you?
No
what's
problem.
the? You can't give your.
I won't tell you the method to the madness, but I'll keep giving them out.
It's Ken Palm related, isn't it?
It is computer related.
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
It's not- it's
Well, I
not-
appreciate the gift.
Yeah, yeah,
man.
yeah.
I do think the Chargers will be watching that AFC South Championship game really closely because they would much rather go to Tennessee, I think.
They probably would much rather go to Tennessee. Jacksonville looks really hot right now, dude. They're like Hansel. They're just really hot right now. And, that would be a great game. Jacksonville, the Chargers. It's already happened this year. I think the Jags put a boot in their ass. But things have changed a little bit for both teams. And that would just be a great game. And I think Kansas City, as it stands right now, would have the winner of that game.
Ooh.
And that would be a fun one, too, because Kansas
all
City,
fun
they've all had, yeah.
And the Chargers could be the 5 or the 6. The 5
Yeah.
could be Baltimore, Cincinnati, or LA.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
So none of this shit's binding, but I think that the Buffalo and the league's taking a lot of shit for how they've scheduled shit. Jacksonville and Tennessee Saturday night. This is a tweet from Warren Sharp, and obviously some of this I think is probably a little bit sensationalist. I think some of it's just like getting mad at the league to get mad at the league. No matter what, there's going to be some fucked up shit going on. You can't blame the league for wanting to keep their bread buttered with Aaron Rodgers in primetime on Sunday night. But Warren Sharp says NFL could have put Detroit, Green Bay on Saturday night and Jacksonville, Tennessee on Sunday night. Instead, Detroit, Green Bay is a Sunday night after Seattle, LA, which obviously is related to Detroit's chances of getting in because Seattle has to win for them to even have a chance to get in. So Kyle, if you're not familiar, Seattle has to win, and then Detroit has got to beat Green Bay. So they're going to be sitting there watching in the 4 p.m. I think it's a 4 p.m. Seattle and LA play.
Yeah.
The line in that game's
To
like
see if it
7.
matters.
It's a big competitive disadvantage for Seattle.
It's a competitive disadvantage for Seattle. A lot of people are complaining for the quality of the game on Sunday night. I think Detroit's going to play hard no matter fucking
their
what.
coach is
dude.
Dan Campbell. It doesn't
Their coach
matter.
is Dan Campbell, bro.
But the precedent is bad that a team could know their destiny beforehand. So that's not good.
It's just tough because if you're Detroit, you're kind of like, man, they're serving us up for Sunday night dinner. It's like just feeding us to Aaron Rodgers. That's what the league wants to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle gets some calls.
What's a group of Lions called?
A pride.
Might be playing for a little bit of pride.
Well, they need to get there. Have you guys been to Japan?
Have I been to Japan?
Yeah.
No, not
Well,
yet.
in Japan, there's a delicacy called fugu. You know what that is? You might know what that is.
From us?
It's
By
puffer
us.
fish.
Oh.
Yeah, it's puffer fish. It's dinner like the Lions Sunday night, but it's toxic. It's highly toxic. It's probably the most toxic
Watch
puffer
out.
fish.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
It's the most dangerous fish in the fish kingdom. if not prepared correctly. So unless there's a fugu handler in Green Bay, that's what they need to. They need to be the pufferfish, man. Even if they lose, I don't think Dan Campbell's going to have a hard time convincing these guys.
Agreed.
To fucking kill the Packers.
A fugu
man.
handler would be an amazing assassin. He could just be like, "Oh, I messed up."
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, my bad. Invite like some dignitary to the
You don't even know. You don't even need all that. You can just touch somebody and kill them.
But people ask like,
no, seriously. There's some residue. It's toxic.
you guys following me here? It's
For sure.
if you're Dan Campbell, how do you appeal to your team? Man, like fuck, let's kill these guys,
It's
man.
like when you throw a mouse
Let's
into
kill
a
'em.
snake's cage and the mouse turns around with a sword and it's like, let's get this mother.
Does that happen? Yeah, no, yeah. That's kind
what
of
I'm saying.
Detroit could be. That
The
could
mouse
be. That
with
could
the
be the
sword.
mouse Sunday night. Dan Campbell should use that.
Sounds a lot
Yeah,
like
yeah.
cocaine, all of this.
Now, if it were like Todd Bowles, not so sure.
Yeah,
But it's Dan Campbell.
I'm gonna send that into Dan Campbell, man. If Seattle wins, fucking be the pufferfish Sunday night, man.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know,
Yep. We
Yeah.
should send him some.
Sans handler.
Send him a Japanese guy.
Yeah, fugu.
With dry ice.
Hey guys, no, there's this fish. I can hear him giving the speech now.
Got this fish out here.
Yeah. All right. Well, so Warren Sharp continues to complain. Not to mention Jackson, but he does complain a lot. He's a really good football mind. He knows the game. He watched the game. He's got a very informational feed, but 90% of it is complaining about football, about coaches and what they do and shit.
People like the bitch.
No, I know. It's all good. If Seattle wins, Detroit is eliminated, which helps Green Bay, and Green Bay eliminates Seattle. Not to mention Jacksonville is playing a more rested Tennessee on Sunday versus Saturday. And then the NFL also hurt Pittsburgh and Miami by putting Kansas City, Las Vegas on Saturday night. There's some validity to that. So I don't know.
Well, we got to fill the slots here.
Yeah, I know.
mean, we got
Eventually.
TV partners. Got to broadcast some games.
So let's talk about the NFC. The Bucks win.
Oh,
The Bucks
champs.
are in.
Ugh.
The Packers win. The Packers have a chance to be in. So the two GOATs have a chance to get in the playoffs. The NFL.
Chris, the Bucks, they started throwing it down the field.
They were chucking that thing.
Bro,
That's all you got to do.
Rico.
I love to
That
see.
ball comes out so fast on the intermediate stuff too. He's so impressive. Like
Too
playing-
fast for his tight end sometimes.
Yeah. Ooh.
Here's the hero of the Bucks game, the punter.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a play.
What? It looked like rugby. I thought I was watching rugby.
Athlete.
A rugby game broke
If
out.
you're Carolina, I just feel like the minute you see that ball come out and the snap go bad, you're like, okay, we're gonna get the ball.
We're
in the
in this thing.
Not just the fact that he caught it, he was able to evade people, punt the ball. This might be the most heroic thing I've ever seen a punter do.
They're gonna give
And
him
then-
the Medal of Honor.
Oh my God! And then the punt down inside the 10, and now there's a penalty and a re-kick. But I think the punt took 12, 14 seconds off the game clock, so it just completely fucks the Panthers. Like,
5 capes.
5 Ks for
From
the
a
punter.
certain angle, it looked like he bent it like Beckham.
Speaking of the Bucks, again, I want to say this one more time. Hats off to Blaine Gabbert. That's fair play. Good save. You get a capes for that.
Yeah.
But I would love to see, of course, everybody be okay. But a helicopter crash near me and me be on a Sea-Doo, that's the easiest rescue in the world. Like the Paw Patrol can pull that off. No problem.
Okay.
What if
Well, no,
they're
think about it.
What if they're flames?
I'm going in. We're in the water.
We're in some
Get a little fire on me. I'm
dangerous
going to what? Was it saltwater rescue?
We're in some dangerous waters here, Chris.
What about smoke?
Are we?
What about smoke?
What about electricity?
Smoke inhalation, electricity. Good point, Kyle.
We're good. Yeah,
about
get zapped
concussive
a little bit. It's like
blast?
sticking
Well-
your finger in a.
What about
plug.
EMPs?
Is this a gasoline-powered Sea-Doo?
You ever thought about carbon emissions?
Well, I'll just park it close to the helicopter, get out and swim. Unlike Jennifer Coolidge, she
What
don't know
about
how to get out
rebar?
and
You ever
swim.
thought about rebar? You could end up just like stuck to
Oh,
some
Kyle
rebar.
was talking about season 2 of White Lotus. You seen it, and you brought up
I saw season
you saw the dick. Well, maybe you didn't see
season
one.
one, I saw.
Who's dick in season 1?
There was a big old
Steve Zahn's dick is in season 1.
Oh, right. His nuts, too.
His nuts were
Yeah,
down
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You guys know all the dick
I'll
scenes?
tell you what. I watched it and I looked at my wife and I was like, "That's fake."
Well, wait till season 2.
Yeah, just you wait.
Yeah. Okay. So Brady looked awesome, man. And Mike Evans
Mike
now
Evans.
another 1,000-yard year.
He's just
It's
a
an absolute
quiet Hall of
goat.
Famer.
Yeah, just quiet goat. And I thought that punt was just amazing. But
Yeah.
Camarda is the guy's name. We might as well say his name. And then shout out to Nelson with the closeout on the rush. That was a beautiful rush. Packers got the win.
I'll do this one.
Yeah, okay.
I got this one.
Go ahead.
This is the only one that I have a script for.
Go ahead.
Okay. So it started the missed opportunities.
Settle in.
Wasted opportunities for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Early third down for Aaron Rodgers goes incomplete off the fingertips. The Vikings had an opportunity, but the punt got blocked in the shadow of their own goalpost. This was kind of a microcosm of the whole game because it was one of those series where one of those series of plays where it gives real confidence to a team, a supreme confidence to an offense. You're playing at Lambeau. You block a punt. It's the beginning of the game. You have an opportunity to just snuff this thing
score
out.
there.
Score some fucking points early.
Score there.
You don't do that. The Vikings end up getting stuffed. They elect to take the Greg Joseph field goal in a massive blue balls moment. That's what I wrote in the time. And then it led to the kick return from Keyshawn Nixon to the house. Restoked the fans. You immediately hear that song, I'm gonna bang on your drum all day. That song gives me PTSD.
Bonk.
You know when the Vietnam vets, they don't want to, Vietnam
go.
vets don't want to hear, burn out, burn out. You know what
They
I'm
don't
saying?
wanna hear that?
Well,
Fortunate
in every
son.
movie,
Well, because in
know,
the movies,
that comes on and there's a helicopter
Born in the
carrying some
USA.
people. Yeah, which was actually an anti-American song.
Yeah.
You got it, Kyle.
So Keyshawn Nixon, bang on a drum all day. Next big opportunity came on a 4th and 1 for Green Bay where Rodgers went play action. He got strip sacked. Vikings got the ball back and shit the bed for 3 downs. They like to go out for it on 4th down. They throw a pick over the middle. Darnell Savage went Tecmo ball actually. He was like running up and down the field. You know what I'm saying? All the way to the house. Shout out to Preston Smith, who had a massive block leading the charge, leading the blocking.
This was funny. This was really
And
funny.
he got a knockdown.
Okay, because he hit Kirk Cousins at the, I want to say 10-yard line
shot
or
him to,
12-yard
like,
line,
the
and
3.
he went 5 yards into the end zone.
He's
So I
dead.
had it at 51 feet that Kirk Cousins, like, it was peak Vikings, man. They were just getting the doors blown off them on the road, and just to cap it off, Kirk Cousins looks like you get thrown out of a moving vehicle. It was cool, man.
Justin Jefferson slipped on a route. Nothing went well for him all day. Kirk Cousins sailed it into
Fucking hit
Adrian
a
Amos's
referee
hands.
with a helmet accidentally in a rage.
So they got the interception. Then they got the Aaron Jones explosive run led to a corner route touchdown by Robert Tanya. Now it's 24-3, and they're just, spitting and, all
Spitting
kind
and
of
getting.
nasty. Spitting and getting.
Well, here's the problem, Kyle. You left the hero of the game out.
Well,
No.
Kyle's only on page 2.
Well, we don't
Yeah.
need the second half.
Okay.
Nothing good happened in the second half.
No,
happened in the
it
second
does end after it
Oh,
ends.
okay, gotcha.
It
So did
ends
my
at-
breakdown. That's good. We both ended at the half, like 24-3. It's
It
fucking
ends
over.
at Cousins threw another pick.
Good.
on a
I don't have to
floater.
rewatch this game anymore.
Thank you.
24-3. So
Missed opportunities in the first quarter.
Rasul Douglas
Huge.
created that pick six. Shout out to Rasul Douglas. Obviously, Jair Alexander's getting a lot of credit. I think they were bracketing a little bit, like so. And for
He's
Justin,
going to say something to you.
what?
Well, Jair doesn't like when you say
I love
stuff
Jair.
like they're doing some bracketing.
I'm
just
not
saying.
worried about it. He's a great player. Nobody's
He's got
taking
a big
anything away
hat.
from him. But if you let me finish, Justin Jefferson has got to feel like that guy that goes sackless, and they slide to him all game, and somebody's like, that tackle really handled him. That used to be my least favorite word. They handled him. What goes into that? Now, obviously, he got the better of Justin Jefferson. But I think some people negate some of the over-the-top help that guys have. Justin Jefferson was fired up. And like I said, he accidentally hit a referee with a helmet. That was kind of fucking funny because he's a great guy. He wouldn't do that on purpose. He'd be the first to tell you he's sorry. The hero of the game was DJ Slayton. DJ Slayton, one of these, they got a young core of these interior D linemen. Lowry was down. This kid stepped up on the goal line. He made that stop, and that stop that you mentioned was the stop of the game, right? Because you go up 7-0 on the road. That's a little bit different than the way they were out the gate. DJ Slayton made that play on third down, forced him to kick the field goal. He also tipped the football on that pick, I want to say, or he tipped the football on one of Kirk Cousins' picks.
On the Amos pick?
I think it was Amos' pick, yeah. So DJ Slayton played a great game. He did a lot of really good stuff. Shout out to the Packers core of their interior line because they do a good job up front. And Kenny Clark's obviously a beast, but some of the other guys don't get a lot of credit. Joe Barry's done a better job. And they didn't even have Rashawn Gary. So I think this is interesting, Kyle. The Vikings, They're out of number one contention, right? They had a small chance of being the best team in the NFC and hosting playoff games and shit. And going up there, this could be the difference between being a 1 and a 2, between having 1 and 2 playoff games at home, which is a huge difference.
Man.
And they show up and they lay an egg
I
like
wouldn't
this.
know. You would.
Well, I mean, it's a big difference. Yeah, could mean going back to Dallas, man. So this is a really fucked up situation
A night at
for the
Jerry's
Vikings
World.
because you look at, and a lot of Vikings fans are like, oh, why do people always but with us? Because of shit like this.
Yeah.
Because you've been blown out 4 times this year by good teams, the Cowboys, the Eagles. Well, you were getting blown out by the Colts. The Colts are up 31-33 points. They're not a good team. And now you got these guys. Just get me my over-win total, and then it's time to move on because they can't stop the pass. They can't rush the passer. They got great rushers. They can't rush the passer. They can't stop explosive plays. I don't know, Kyle. I'm just the NFC East, right? The Eagles, the Cowboys. Interesting situation. Here's why it's so interesting, Kyle.
Yeah, Chris.
These teams could either be 1 seeds or they could be 5 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
And they can play like 1 seeds or 5 seeds.
And well, more, yeah. I guess it would help to have Jalen Hurts back, and they will have Jalen Hurts back this weekend.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, they didn't play well. They didn't play well this weekend.
We've seen a lot of victories from the Eagles and a lot of complete game wins, but there's been some quarters, there's been some halves of football games where the Eagles didn't look like the juggernaut that we all know them to be.
Well, they abandoned the run game yesterday. You know, they just didn't run the football. Miles Sanders' usage was way down. You try to get Gardner Minshew comfortable, you just come out there and just sling the ball. He gets Baldy put out a video. He got hit like 4 times in the first 8 plays. He's just getting tattooed. That's not the way you want to come out of the gates against, like a low-key, tough Saints team. And does it surprise me they lost the game? Not particularly. They've got to win now because you do not want to go to the 5 seed and have to go down to Tampa again. You get a rematch. You could get a rematch of you could get 2 NFC rematches in the playoffs, Tampa and Philly. And then there's also Green Bay could possibly have to go to San Francisco. So
jeez, that would
be a great game. Be a great game.
That's likely.
And
That's
Vita
likely.
Party, I'm
Bevel
watching
Conway.
these fucking games thinking I'm going to get Aaron in. I'm going to get Tom in. We're going to get San Francisco, Green Bay. That's going to be great. The Eagles could have to go down there.
Vikings Giants was just a banger, 3-point banger.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the Giants, do you think the Giants will try to play spoiler against the Eagles this weekend?
No.
So
They're going to try to win the game, but it's going to be with Tyrod Taylor and company.
yeah, I don't know.
We've talked about it.
Yeah, I don't know. So I just think it's interesting because if you go through the possibilities, the Eagles win, the Cowboys lose, the things stay the same pretty much. The Eagles lose, the Cowboys win, then the Eagles are all of a sudden they felt like they had it under control for the entire season. Now they're having to go play Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And not have to get a fucking you don't get a single home game, quite possibly the entire playoff.
Yeah.
If
the road goes through the link 2 weeks ago, and now you might be on the road having to play like a wild card team.
If they were at Tampa, I bet they'd be a 10-point favorite.
Nah.
8.5, 9, 10.
I got it at 7. In all these scenarios, some of them take the Niners losing. Not going to happen.
Cards.
Yeah, they're playing the Cards. So, and they put all 3 of the top NFC teams in the 425, so they got that handled.
In San Francisco, it goes without saying, wants the 2 as opposed to the 3.
And as we wrap this up with the NFC and everything, like I know, not to drive it into the ground here and make the point, it's too obvious. But Jalen Hurts, if anybody's worried about is it him? Is it the offense? Like they just look totally different. And there's an extra man you got to account for in the run game. So he's not making that mistake that Minshew did to seal the game. And I got nothing against Minshew. I really like Minshew, but there's a difference between Minshew and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, and
and that left tackle.
Yeah.
And Lane being out really hurts him in the run game, and the pass game obviously, but in the run game as well. You just assume that he's taking care of that end man on the line of scrimmage and a lot of their read stuff. And everybody talks about he hadn't given up a sack in a long time, but he's legit in every facet of the game. So. Anyways, the Eagles and the Cowboys situation to watch this weekend. What else do we have to worry about in the NFC, Matt Nackey?
Mostly just looking at that Sunday night game, Green Bay. I mean, we'll watch earlier to see if Seattle has a chance or if it's Detroit.
Yeah.
And then just the seeding, see who gets the 2, who gets
Green
the 3.
Bay's going to roll. Green Bay's going to roll regardless of what happens earlier on in the day. Green Bay rolls.
Not
through.
so fast, my friend.
Green Bay's going to be just.
I wonder what the temp's going to be in Green Bay, because that's something that we usually take into account when Jared Goff's playing on the road. You want to do mentions?
Let's do mentions.
Get the fuck out of here.
All right, Miller Lite mentions. Who you guys got for best plane ride?
I'll go Pittsburgh Steelers. Sunday night. That's a short flight. That's a big win. You're alive for the playoffs. Tomlin's streak. And we're talking about Steelers-Ravens. Ravens haven't been around that long. They were the Cleveland Browns once upon a time, but it's become one of the best rivalries in the NFL.
Huge rivalry, and a lot of respect between Tomlin and Harbaugh, and a short flight, as you point out. They're also my best plane ride.
My best plane ride, the 49ers, they still won in overtime. Robbie Gould got a little
It's a
redemption
short one,
shot.
yeah.
Short flight. He's definitely buying people dinner and beer because he got a redemption shot.
So I'll give you a worst plane ride.
Who's your worst plane
The
ride?
Jets.
Yes.
New Year's Eve in Seattle. So, I like Seattle a lot, but New Year's Eve. And then a 4-hour flight home at probably 9 o'clock East Coast time. Getting back till after midnight, that sucks.
Brutal.
Season's over. Getting ready for exit meetings. This is the ickiest time of the year. Just high stress.
Dolphins, you lose a game, you got to go back to Miami, the greater Miami area.
Yeah.
Several hundred square miles.
Yep.
That's a tough scene.
Yep.
Lost 5 in a row.
Yep.
Worst plane ride, Kyle?
What he said.
Yeah.
Jets.
All right. Hollow Man. I'm going to go. There's so many options here. You could do Ron Rivera. Could we be eliminated? Could it be the Ohio State kicker?
Ruggles.
It's Kayvon Thibodeau, though.
Yes.
All right.
It's bad
Let's hear
luck.
it.
It's a bad luck. Well, first, I think the onus is on you to disprove the theory that he might have.
I can't argue with bad luck, but he didn't.
That's all that's been said.
But he didn't know.
I disagree. I think there's a distinct. Listen, I know he said he didn't know, but what it looked like is that, and I was talking to Matt about this, bro. The trainer had to come. Like, trainer was like, "Yo, get out of my way. This is awkward."
It went on.
It was very
too long.
awkward. It
Yes.
was,
And you can see him
First
look
off,
at it.
biggest code break of the whole thing is you're unblocked. Okay, like chill out, Holmes. But then after
and a snow angel.
Snow angel, it's
There was
not
no
snowing.
precipitation.
and then like his legs are hitting Nick Foles, so his legs are hitting someone, and I buy the first 3-4 seconds he probably didn't know. But then there's a moment where he looks over, and a lot of people have pointed out that he looked over at Nick Foles, and his snow angel arm motion goes from on the ground hitting Nick Foles to off the ground to avoid Nick Foles. So, like, yeah, bro, I'm not CSI New York here, but, I feel like my legs getting pissed on, and people are telling me it's raining a little bit. It was a bad look, and if he did know, and then after the fact going to the sideline and doing the take a nap thing, which could have been the Steph Curry thing, I've seen that. Yeah, I'm just trying to give people because you know what? Here's what we got, and if you haven't noticed today, nobody said shit about this for a few reasons. Number one, when the sports media at this point, we pick people that we see being the victims of, some false narratives, some, Todd McShay pushing the Jalen Carter narrative, the whole, Kayvon's got this character problem. He's not a hard worker, this, that, and the third. So then this person becomes slightly protected by the media because we don't want to do anything to give ammunition to the people that were under false pretenses or with bad motives attacking this kid. I am not that person, okay? I have done nothing but praise what he's done since he's gotten New York. In the beginning, I said it's going to be a long year. He's got to learn how to rush a little bit. I think he's done that over the course of the year. It's been a nice year. He's had 4 sacks. He's made some huge plays, but at no turn in the road have we had to talk about his character. So I'm not somebody that's anti Kayvon Thibodeau. Does it hurt his case that I happen to know Nick Foles and I think the world of him? He's sitting there. It looks like he's having a fucking seizure. and Kayvon's on the ground doing this awkwardly long celebration. It looked like a fucking Bush League move. It looked like a bullshit move. And I can't, that's what my eyes see looking at that. Now you can tell me that you will always have plausible deniability because you just have to say, I didn't see, I didn't know. You can say what you want, but to me that looked like a little bit of hot garbage. And I also think it's a little trash that a lot of media members haven't said a word about it. And I think part of it is what I said earlier, protecting a guy that they think is under attack. But also, I think there's some hedging of the bets. I don't want to call this guy out because I might need a relationship with him over the next 10 years because we think he's going to be a star because he's had a really good couple weeks.
Regardless of,
and I think that's the way some of the media operate. And I got to say, I'm a Kayvon fan, but if Kayvon heard this and he was like, "Hey, fuck Chris Long for saying that was trash," it's trash, bro. That was a trash move.
Yeah.
And logically, his non-apology only makes sense if he did do it on purpose. Because imagine if you didn't do it on purpose.
You'd be like, bro,
You'd be mortified.
I'd be terrified. And I'll tell you, I was in a situation like this. When we played the Texans, Matt Schaub was a quarterback. And
UVA great.
Yep. And I fucking sacked him down in Houston and didn't see that his ankle got caught underneath. And he had a high ankle sprain because I folded him over somebody. And I ran away celebrating, like away from the pile, like 20 yards, and was celebrating. And people were like, "Yo, you were celebrating?" While the guy was on the ground, and like people were giving me shit about it. And I was like, I was mortified. And I think I did say, I'm sure he's a UVA guy at the very least. Not that it wouldn't have mattered if he was a Tech guy.
He's a guy. Yeah,
he was Logan Wilson or what? Thomas. He was Logan Thomas. I would have been.
Even if he was Logan Wilson.
If he was Logan Wilson, if he was Logan Ryan.
It was
if he was Logan from X-Men, even if he's going to heal in a second, I'm going to feel bad about it. There was no contrition after the game.
At all.
The point, the hollow man, the hollow man for me is the O-line for the Colts,
and that's another element.
I'm disappointed in the
Logan Roy.
I'm disappointed in the group because obviously you got two free runners at your quarterback. Now your quarterback's down. First off, if your quarterback's on the ground, if your running back's on the ground, if your receiver's on the ground, and you're within 10 yards, you should be there with your hand out picking them up off the ground. That's the golden rule number one for offensive line. Number two, if somebody's hitting your quarterback late or somebody's getting shown up, you're kind of obligated to get in there and do something physically.
What would you have done if you saw Kayvon doing on the ground?
Spear him.
Right, and just see what happens.
I'd spear him.
And that's the reality of things, man. Like,
I would trust that three of my homies would be right behind me to pick off anybody else.
And here's the deal. And listen, this is just kind of the way things are. There is a little bit of a code in the NFL. And, there's a lot of shitbag stuff that goes on in the NFL. But at the end of the day, when dudes are on the ground and we're not sure, like, what's going on with them, imagine that this happened to a quarterback that people are more in love with.
Yeah.
Imagine this happened to
we don't
Lamar.
have to say
Imagine this happened to I don't know, Joe Burrow. Like, people are freaking out. I mean, just imagine. You're telling me nobody's freaking out?
Like a player that they have more of a connection with.
The media is up in arms about this. So all I'm saying is I saw a buddy get fucked up, and I saw a guy doing snow angels next to him. And even if I didn't know Nick, I'd probably be like, man, this is kind of Bush League.
It was total Bush League.
It was Bush League. So I'm just going to call it how it is, and it's a hollow man to me. It's hollow man. I don't think Kayvon's a bad person. This was a bad thing, in my opinion.
No, we've all done bad things.
Yeah, and I've done things I'm not proud of on the football field,
particularly in football games.
But it's now my job to break the game down, and I just thought that was kind of Bush League.
Yeah.
Who you got, Makes?
The guy in the building who told Riverboat Ron during the week that Week 18 still mattered to the Commanders under any scenario, because I'm sure he was told that. And it stinks because Ron Rivera is awesome, and it might look like the rain in Washington.
Yeah, he's awesome. I was in awe of his press conference.
Yes, he is some of all.
Bevel Conway, guys. Could have been the Rose Bowl, which I don't know how that ended. And
I'm going to go Rose Bowl because Utah went with the throwbacks and the rose on the helmet.
Utah didn't cover in the teaser.
Sorry, buddy.
Beautiful helmet. I got to go
Jacksonville, though.
Packers Vikings, man. I just have a lot of memories.
Lambeau's beautiful when it get in that late.
I have a lot of
425
memories,
slot.
good and bad, from that stadium. And every time I see a real good game, and it wasn't even a good game at all, but the Packers playing well is good for football. It's good for America. It's good for football fans.
Sound like you have Stockholm syndrome,
I do.
right?
No doubt about it. Aaron Rodgers could.
He's
abduct
not so
me.
bad.
He could abduct me,
Yeah.
and I'll be
Okay.
okay.
So,
What about you?
Niners, fucking Raiders, man. I love the Death Star there. I think it looks beautiful on TV, even for being
shows
indoor
well.
football. Shows well. 2 classic uniforms, and it's the Bay Area. I don't care if you move them to Vegas.
Yeah.
I see Oakland, that fucking baseball field where you were afraid to hit the ground and skin your arm up because around the 40. And then I see Candlestick. Like, that's what I think about when I think about those 2 teams, old school franchises that look great on the field.
I'll mention Baltimore, Pittsburgh. I will go Rose Bowl.
Gorgeous.
And a shout out to Tennessee and Clemson for doing the best possible combo.
Was in the Bahamas. They don't have college football.
The home Tennessee's the home for Tennessee, and Clemson had the choice, but they went road, orange, white, orange. A lot of orange. Tennessee
Good to
rolled
see.
them.
Good to see that. That
Good to
Dabo
see
humble.
Dabo lost.
Yeah.
Yep.
What we got?
You guys
Sure.
gonna fly on the wall?
Sure, it was part of the plan, though. Okay, fly on the wall. Fly on the fucking wall, huh? Fly on the wall. Who's playing this weekend? That's what I have written down here. The people who are playing this
The
weekend.
schedule makers.
Now I want to see the fucking. I want to see the.
That's a good answer by me. The schedule
yeah, that's
makers.
good. The Lions crowded around the TV or not crowded around the TV. The Lions getting reprimanded by Dan Campbell for looking at their phones. Like, just all those situations playing out. Who's watching the Jumbotron? How, are they showing it at home games? Is Bill telling? Did they playing in New England this weekend or in Buffalo? They're playing in
Buffalo.
They're playing in Buffalo. Is Sean McDermott telling them not to put the fucking game on the Jumbotron?
But some coaches say that.
Yeah, it's weird stuff. So, yeah, that's my fly on the wall.
Fly on the wall would be the editor in James Cameron's editing room who perhaps or didn't perhaps suggest trying to cut some scenes from the movie. I
Yeah.
would have loved to have heard James Cameron's response.
Avatar?
Yeah.
Hadn't thought about Avatar all week till now.
Some guys like, hey, maybe we could cut that scene out where the kids are just bullying each other.
So my viewing party is Mark Lewis, and I have no idea who that is. Can somebody find out who Mark Lewis is?
Were you going for Mark Davis by chance?
No.
Okay.
Mark Lewis would have been fun.
Yeah.
Mark Davis would have
Was
been
he?
fun.
Was Mark Lewis a stab basketball coach?
Here it is.
Senator
Somebody
Mark
named
Lewis.
Mark Lewis. Oh yeah, it's Mark Lewis. He's a senator. He's fucking look at him.
He's filming the
He's
players.
filming the players during the
They're
coin
cattle.
toss. He's just got his
That's Mark
fucking
Kelly,
phone
though.
out like.
Why are we calling Mark Lewis Mark Kelly?
Is
I think
it-
the
is that-
ref. I
Kelly's
think the ref called him Mark Lewis. Maybe.
Oh,
Okay.
Senator Mark Lewis.
But also, Mark
Yeah,
Kelly
Mark Kelly.
is just like, he looks like every astronaut.
That's
ever.
funny.
That's why I didn't know who he was. Mark Lewis.
Yeah. He's,
Everybody
he's
knows this.
married to Gabby Giffords.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, Gabby's the one. She's the honorary coin tosser. So
And he's just up
Mark
there with
is
his-
just there being a fan.
Yeah.
She's got the gift of gab. B.
Okay. Let's get this plane landed, guys.
Give us a game ball.
Game ball, it's going to be Tom Brady. No.
You did it.
Game ball, Tom Brady.
Okay.
Game ball, Daniel Jones. It was Indy, and Indy might not be playing so hard at the moment, but DJ went 19-24, 91,
Ree that boy up.
91 on the ground,
Read
2
that
total
boy up.
touchdowns. I think you signed him before you signed Saquon.
Listen,
Long term.
if
course you do.
he didn't wear LL Bean out of the fucking draft and look like he manages your money, people would be all over him as like the next big thing in New York. He's exceeded expectations. He's improved almost every year, and it feels like as long as Brian Dable's there, if this is his floor,
Oh,
like he's a dual threat fucking quarterback that's out there throwing the ball to Darius Slayton and 3 guys I've never heard of.
Richie
Yeah.
James.
Yeah, I mean he's doing a good job.
great
That
job.
guy's always open for some reason.
Yeah, he is.
Don't always
My
catch it.
what do we got? Game
Most
ball.
of the
Patrick
time.
Mahomes. He beat Denver for the umpteenth time. Never lost to them. This weekend, Mahomes joined Drew Brees in rare company, throwing for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. It's his second time achieving this stat. The other was in 2018. Breeze did it in 11 and 12. Game ball, Patrick Mahomes.
And again, making it happen with a bunch of guys that,
Without, Tyreek Hill.
And last mention, STL Memorial Frank Gore Award.
Oh, STL Memorial. I can't give it to Deshaun Watson because LeBron's watching. How could he,
Yeah.
Did you see this?
Yeah, he's
LeBron.
playing Madden with Kirk Cousins and watching the Browns.
Fucking weird.
Who?
Weird fandom. LeBron, he was all excited because Deshaun's getting his rhythm back. Yeah. Okay. I don't have an STL Memorial.
STL Memorial.
What
Matt
even is
LaFleur.
that? Okay.
He's underappreciated.
Yeah. Okay.
People talk about all these smart
No,
coaches.
you're right.
I'm like, Matt LaFleur's the shit.
You're
man.
right.
Yeah.
And he's kind of cool too. He
Yeah.
seems cool.
The hatred's built in when you're the
Okay.
coach of the Packers. People
DJ
love
Moore,
him.
he's a really good receiver.
yeah.
He is really good.
117 yards,
Yeah.
touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Carolina won't be going to the playoffs, but he's a really good player.
Oh, Sam Darnold while we're at it.
There you go.
Fucking
Freakishly athletic.
guy threw a pick or two, but he made some nice plays. He might have made himself a little money at the end of the day. I don't mean he's going to be a fucking, $100 million guy, but I do mean he's going to have a job. I don't know if it's going to be a starting job. People are going to talk about him all offseason.
We're getting, big bread. Those
Open
quarterbacks.
competition.
Yeah. I think that's everything, guys.
That was fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Hey, take care.
Great job, guys.
Take care of your families.
Yep.
Listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you want to get the podcast, you can get the podcast. Pretty simple. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Podcasts get pretty wild. This is real tame.